Hey guys, it's Girl Got Game. Welcome back. We're here for the last ending of Never Forget Me, and then we are done with this game. Done, done, done. So we have 4 different scenes, I believe, not counting the ending. And the first one is the very first scene. This time we're gonna say something to Miss Molly Steal Our Man. And I honestly don't blame her for that because we were terrible. So let's say something. Okay, normally I can ignore this sort of thing, but Molly has taken it to a whole new level. She is really not. No one talks about my husband like that. I turn to the girl, a scowl marring my face. Molly, go back to the dressing room and change out of our piece. Molly seems caught off guard. I don't know if she's heard me speak until now. What? But why? We've decided to do the shoot with just Sally. We don't need you anymore. I don't understand. Did I do something wrong? We reserve the right to terminate your contract for any reason. But that's not fair. Life's not fair, Molly. Get used to it. Harsh truths. Molly's jaw quivers, and just when I'm sure she's about to break out in tears, she storms out of the room. Hugh enters the room at around the same time, and Molly almost bumps into him as she makes her dramatic exit. Perplexed, he looks back and forth between me and the door, then strides in my direction. What the hell was that, Amy? We had to let Molly go. Why? You realize she's from one of our preferred agencies, right? Her agent is going to be pissed if we don't have a good excuse. Well, she was acting very unprofessionally. How so? She was making inappropriate comments about you? My voice trails off as I realize just how petty I've been. So you're going to fire every woman who looks twice at me? That's a way to run a business. Frustrated, he runs his hand through his thick hair and exhales. I notice some perspiration has formed on his forehead from contemplating the problem. Maybe I can still catch her before she leaves. I'm going to bring her back, and think up an excuse or something. I'll just say we haze new models, that's it. When we come back, I expect you to behave like an actual adult, got it? Oof. Without another word, he whirls around and beelines out the door in search of the young model. How does it feel to be scolded? Shut up. You really shouldn't have egged her on like that. Why not? It proved to be very entertaining. Do you always feel joy when others suffer? Pretty much. I cross my arms and frown in a pouty manner, then reluctantly reflect upon my actions. I get it, I know I'm not going to win Employee of the Year anytime soon, but was what I did really that bad? Yes. Okay, I guess it was pretty immature. Hugh is attractive. Women are going to make comments like that, although maybe not as excessively as Molly. That's just something I gotta get used to, I suppose. I'll try not to overreact in the future. Amarantha, not overreact. Alrighty-o, well I'll bring you in for the next scene when we get there, guys. Boy, here we go into crap down. Alright, Lewis, it's your time to shine. Flirt back, it's harmless fun. Sorry, I was just a little tongue-tied because I had flashbacks of you in lingerie. I guess it is a little unfair, isn't it? Kind of like a show me yours and I'll show you mine kind of thing. Lewis reddens slightly, but I can see some tension ebb away from his shoulders. My playing along is putting him at ease. This is the most worried I've ever seen him. Thank goodness, because that could have been incredibly awkward, and awkward workplace relationships are never fun. I feel a knot in my stomach convicting me of wrongdoing. But flirting has become an innocent social norm in these modern times. It's a playful game between 2 members of the opposite sex, nothing more. Until it develops. This really can't be considered cheating, can it? I mean, Lewis is attractive. Duh, he's a model. But I would never cheat on Hugh. Never, ever. Flustered and unable to shake my guilty conscience, I attempt to end the awkward interaction. Well, I'd better get back to my workout. And slap ya. I figured it was going to play out the same. Rightio. Well, on that note, I'll bring you in for the next scene, guys. Well, I think we all remember Lewis's awkward love confession. So, after that, how could we not listen to what he has to say? Okay, fine. You've got 10 minutes. After that, I'm leaving. I've got somewhere I've got to be. I cross my arms in a grumpy manner and lean against a building, secretly pleased to give my feet a bit of a rest.
Look, I know what I did at the gym.
He pauses, searching for words.
It wasn't, appropriate.
You think?
See, that right there is why I love you.
Love? What? I thought this was an apology. Get back to the apologizing part, please.
You're real with me. You treat me like a person, not just a pretty face.
Well, you are a person. Granted, you're a butt of a scummy person, but a person nonetheless. Next thing I know, Lewis's arms are coiled around my waist and he's pulled me into yet another unprovoked kiss. What is your dealio? I linger in his embrace for several moments, marveling at the hormones. Hormones? At the hormones. At the hormones and neurons firing off in my body. Sure, you can arouse a lot of passion, but here lately, I thought that as I grew older, I'd naturally lose that hair-raising electricity that can result from good chemistry between couples. Yeah, you're ancient, Amy. Seriously. After all, we can't be teenagers forever. But this is how I used to feel with Hugh. I didn't know I could still feel this way 6 months after marriage. Wait! I pull out of my dazed stupor and push Lewis off of me. He looks pleased with a smug certainty in his eye. I can't believe... I need to get out of here. Before I know it, I'm off like a bat. Out of heck. Alright, and... Well, the next scene is when he gets her real drunk, so I'll see you over there, guys, for that. Oh boy. Well, this is all gonna go south in a hurry, so let's accept and not throw up on him as much as I would like to, and it pains me I can't. His proposition sends my mind swirling into a muddled mass of thoughts, partially thanks to the alcohol, I'm sure. As my conscience struggles internally with my more carnal desires, I inexplicably find myself magnetized by his presence. Without realizing it, words of consent escape my lips. What? Somebody's eyes are watching you. Lewis smirks and leads me by the wrist to the nearest bathroom. Real romantic. The interior is rather luxurious, with zebra marble countertops, golden-edged hexagonal mirrors, and velvet plush stools. Why we're making note of this while we're drunk and about to cheat on our husband, I have no idea. Round lighting fixtures hang from the ceiling like floating orbs of light and illuminate the bathroom's mural. A large eye with golden eyelashes. I'm transfixed by it. Oh, here we go. Oh boy. And there goes the tongue again. Lovely. What happens next is an exhilarating blur, a kaleidoscope of pent-up passion eclipsed by nagging pangs of guilt. I can't help but feel like that giant eye is watching me. Our chorus of sighs reaches a crescendo, then slowly diminishes. I am not reenacting that. After it's over, I'm reduced to a quivering form on the floor, the weight of my actions finally beginning to dawn on me. Suddenly, I hear my cell phone begin to vibrate. Lewis, who's standing a few feet away from me now, refastening his belt, kicks my purse towards me, and I reach in and retrieve the device with shaking hands. Hello? Oh, hi. Hey, babe. Something came up, and I don't think I'll be able to make it to the after party. This client is really annoying. You know how it is. I probably won't get home till late, but if you can, wait up for me, alright? I want to hear all the details from tonight. There's a pause, and then Hugh speaks again. Amy, are you okay? Yes, I'm just feeling a little lightheaded. Don't drink too much. You don't want to do anything you might regret. No. Well, I'll let you go. See you later, okay? Okay. Love you. A beat passes as I'm unable to muster a response. Amy? I love you too. I click the call end button before erupting into heaving sobs punctuated by intense nausea. The room is eerily quiet, save for my cries, until Lewis speaks up because he's still here. Dude. What is going on in your head? Did everything just go into your muscles and that was it?
Okay, I can get through this. We should run away.
Lewis. My voice is stifled by the lump in my throat.
You're just an employee to him. I'll treat you better than that.
Lewis, get out! I screamed the words at him after finally finding my voice.
Don't pretend that you don't love me. That wasn't just lust. There was more to it than that. I felt it.
Just go. My words are subdued, yet again, quickly drowned out by choking cries. Finally. Lewis obeys, leaving me a trembling mass on the cold granite floor, wondering how to pick up the pieces of my life, which in one moment I willingly shattered. Yep, you did that to yourself, girl. Well, I might as well just keep you guys here while I click super fast through the weeks until we get to the last scene. Do we end it with Lewis? Do we decide to go independent? Does Molly still get with Hugh? So many questions. About to be answered right now. Achievement unlocked. Take me away. Her impatient demand sends my thoughts into overdrive. I have to decide now? It's normal for a woman to want to consult her husband, though, right? On the flip side, I can only count the number of times Hugh has sought advice from me regarding his career on one hand. So maybe I shouldn't bother. Does he really want what's best for me anyway? Maybe Lewis was right. If Hugh doesn't have my best interests in mind, then he would advise against me taking Maria's offer, even if it were a great career opportunity for me. He seems to put himself in the company first, expecting me to fill the supportive role, but why can't I blossom too? Lewis seems to want that for me at least, and I believe he really meant it. We had already, had our moment of passion, if you will, so it likely wasn't an emotional ploy. Guilt pricks my conscience, but it's eased by the sudden recollection of various conversations and bits of gossip I've stumbled into over the years. They talked about it in hushed tones for my sake, but I had caught wind of other employees and models whispering tales of Hugh's alleged affairs. I had, for the most part, written them off as lies and gossip. Models are, after all, insatiable creatures frantic for attention. They were frequently mouthing off about various celebrities they'd been with. I had stopped confronting Hugh about these rumors long ago, but perhaps there was some truth in them. Has Hugh actually cheated on me? All the while, I've been agonizing over one drunken tussle, but that would be nothing compared to Hugh's philandering if even half of the rumors proved to be true. I feel an unshakable resolve rise within me, and my acceptance seems to burst out of my mouth with violent force. I'll do it! I was wondering, and like, Maria's just watching all you think about this, and your expression just changing.
Thank goodness. You've been standing there with a dumb expression on your face for the past several minutes. I was starting to think I'd bet on the wrong horse.
Maria rises and collects her things, then begins to sashay toward the door.
I'll email you the details later. I trust this time you'll actually respond.
Yes, of course.
Good. I'm much looking forward to this partnership.
She pauses in the doorway, then strikes a fanciful pose.
Ciao.
As the door clicks behind her, I begin to frantically pace circles around my office, feeling a perplexing mix of excitement and dread. Resolve is still rolling around in my stomach, making my behavior dangerously impetuous. I snatch my purse from the back of my desk chair and squeeze out of the tiny office, telling my assistant that I'm not feeling well and leaving early. The Uber drive home seems to last an eternity, and my fingers are twitching to articulate my thoughts onto some sort of parchment before they're completely lost. When I arrive home, the only paper I can find is stationery branded with the company's logo. How fitting, I think, with a lilted smile. Hugh didn't deserve any of this. My feverish hands immediately scrawl across the page, penning an overdue manifesto of sorts. When it's finished, I lean back in the chair, feeling an immense sense of satisfaction and closure. I pull out my cell phone and dial a familiar number. It's one that I've been thinking about almost relentlessly these past few weeks, longing to call but never following through. He answers. My tone is somewhat breathless. Come take me away.
Amy, you really mean it?
Yes, I've already told Hugh. I glance at my hastily composed letter that I told him out of the corner of my eye, then continue. I'm finally ready to start over. This is the happiest she's ever looked. On a sad ending. Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. William Shakespeare. And I think that's it. Whether her and Lewis stay together, we'll never know. And I hope they never did, because... So that was weird. Lewis was just like a random dude. He wasn't being paid off by anybody. He wasn't trying to cause trouble. He's just... random dude. With... Okay, whatever. We're done. We're finally done. Well, I won't say that this was the best visual novel I've ever played, because that's not true. I'm torn. I enjoyed certain parts of it, but it really felt like a chore most of the time, unfortunately. Compared to Always Remember Me. It was, like, Always Remember Me is one of my favorite visual novels. It was kind of neat to come back and revisit all these characters, but unfortunately most of them were written pretty badly. I'm sorry to say. They each had like good moments, except for maybe Aaron's route. I don't think that really had any good moments in it. Eddie's was definitely the best. So Eddie, you're still best boy in my heart, and you always will be. Except when we're on other boys' routes and you're being a jerk for some reason. I don't know. Hugh was surprisingly really great as a route, although there was still like this weird... I don't know. I just got to dislike Amy a lot more in this game, and I guess that made it kind of difficult. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching me play through this anyway. Thanks for watching. So yeah, we're done. Never Forget Me forever now. And that means we got one more route left in Cinderella Phenomenon, and then we're on to new games. But first we must pursue Waltz the Big. So if you want to go swoon with me over there, I hope I shall see you there, guys. Until then, see you later.